welcome everyone to Prepper Chicks After Dark, and we are here tonight to play some Conflicted the Survival card game. What is that, you ask? It's a special deck of cards, 52 cards, just like a regular standard deck, and each card has a survival scenario on it. Kind of a what would you do kind of thing. And it's a great tool, quite honestly. Whip this thing out in the middle of your preparedness group, sit around and chat about what possibly could happen out there. It's not like we got a lot that we can pull from in the news lately, so definitely can open up some conversations, get into the minds and souls of those around you and see what they would actually do. So joining us tonight is the one, the only, my favorite geek in the whole world, Geek Prepper. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me again, Prepper Chicks. Glad to be back. You can go ahead.
You're one of the family now. You know that, right?
Good. I love being here. I love the people in the chat room. I get a lot of good hits on our webpage because of it. And speaking of our webpage, we're at geekprepper.org. I'll paste it in the chat room just to keep it short. But yeah, come hang out with us. We'd love to have you. We have a great group on Facebook, so come chill.
Yeah, you have some great stuff that you post up there.
Oh, shucks.
You do, and plus you like Doctor Who, which is coming up here. It's going to save my ass between now and when The Walking Dead comes out, so it'll give me a little break. I know. And let's introduce our guest. He was with me this morning at 8 a.m., and the poor soul is on the West Coast, so he was up at like 4 o'clock in the morning just to talk with me about his book, Collective Retribution. If you haven't read it, you haven't gotten it, get it. It's a very real possibility in the post-apocalyptic world and what's going on out there right now, and give you pause to think about some things that we were going to talk about here in a little bit. So, D.S. Edwards, are you with us?
Good after morning.
Oh, we got you. Check it out. Look, I'm not totally a dork when it comes.
What's up, geek?
Hey, how's it going?
Geek's one of my favorite people, too.
Awesome.
Oh, shucks. That's blushing.
You said shucks twice now, haven't you?
Yeah. Like.
So, Diaz, how can people find you? Tell us about yourself, where they can get your book, all that kind of loveliness.
Well, you can find me. I have my favorite crack house I like to hang out in on the weekends. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Walking it back. No, actually, you can find the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, iTunes. You can get it on your Kindle, your notebook, your Sony reader. You can get it in a paperback. You can get it in a hardback. You can find me on www.collectiveretribution.com. You can find me on Facebook, Collective Retribution. You can find me on Twitter at DS Edwards Author. Just find me.
You've been pimping yourself out all over the place, haven't you?
I'm telling you, it's crazy. I hate social media, but you know what? The guy's got to do it. So
you might need a nap.
I have to give in and do it. Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
A nap and a snack.
Yeah.
We're having snacks.
So what is?
Well, I usually winter well.
What is your what do you feel will be your favorite post-apocalyptic snack?
You know, I like wild animal flesh, so I like it now, so I'm sure I'll like it then just as much as I like it now. So, yeah, that's probably my favorite snack. Maybe a nice roasted bunny or,
some elk jerky,
venison, something like that.
Some elk
jerky. Oh, absolutely.
Aren't you going elk hunting soon or something?
I am. 26 days I'll be out there with my bow in my hand chasing the bulls around.
Cool. That sounds like fun. I'm going to have to come out and tag along with you one of these times.
Oh, my gosh, it's so fun. The one I killed last year, I shot him at 8 yards.
We don't have a whole lot of those in Indiana.
No, I don't think so.
Geek, what'll be your favorite post-apocalyptic? You can stop and pick me up, and then we'll head on out west.
Twinkies. They'll last forever, right?
Did you
see the new party of the snack world?
Did you see the new chocolate?
Twinkies.
The chocolate flavored ones. The chocolate cream in the middle?
No. I didn't. And it's only going to do me harm. I'm trying to lose weight anyway and get back in shape again, and it's, you get old. The chocolate-covered Twinkies are not helping that.
Oh, and
I've been signing books at the fair, and I've been eating the fried Twinkies, and that's really not good either.
Oh, fried Twinkies? Are you kidding?
Oh, no. Deep fried Twinkies.
It's like chocolate-covered bacon.
Speaking my language.
I've tried the chocolate-covered bacon, though. It's not bad. The salty with the chocolate is actually kind of good.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Can you tell none of us had dinner yet?
I did.
I'm in. Let's do this.
Oh, hush. Okay, so I have a question based off of your book, DS. We have a downgrade situation in the United States, and you have a choice of going to join the local militia to defend the country or staying home and waiting it out to see whoever foreign army steps foot onto U.S. soil and making a mess. Are you going to stay home or are you going to go?
Well, it depends on whether it's a foreign army or, whether it's a domestic army. And I would probably stay home and hunker down for a week to 10 days and then come out, and whoever's left standing, I'd join them.
So you're going to wait
I'm pretty much convinced that that's the way to go. It's just to hunker down, bug in, and disappear. Well, I don't know. I don't think it would get to my house. I'm pretty far out, but if I lived in the city, it'd probably be a little bit different scenario for me. I live out in the middle of nowhere. So I'd probably just hunker down and wait it out for a few days, and then, like I said, whoever was still standing and whoever was moving to defend, then I would join them at that point.
Do you think it'd be a couple days? Do you think it's going to last a couple months before you stick your head out the door?
I don't think, we've talked about this before. I don't think it's going to be all that long before, minutes. I mean, in a downgrade situation like what I talk about in the book, it's not a gradual thing. It's an instantaneous thing. I mean, the planes fall out of the sky, the cars quit running. I mean, everything with an electronic circuit's fried. And I don't think people would wait more than a few minutes and it'd be mass chaos and rioting and, looting and it'd be crazy. It'd be anarchy. So I don't think it would be that long. I think it would only take so many days before those who were going to kill each other would kill each other off. Those who weren't prepared.
Geek, what do you think? You live a little closer to the action.
Right in the action, always. I would stick my head out kind of off and on. I'm a big believer in recon and information, and the more I know, man. I mean, I like the idea of hunkering down and having my stuff, but in the military, they teach you to fire and move. I mean, there's some definite something been said for just keep it on the move and prowling. So I'm going to move around and get recon from the survivors and kind of keep abreast of the situations.
Do you think we can wait it out too long and then we've got a whole nother mess on our hands?
Definitely can.
What are the possibilities, do you think? What could cause a bigger ruckus?
Just aftermath, sickness, blocked roads, foreign insurgents, troops, our troops. It's going to be a mess. I mean, if I wait too long in my area, my cutoff is gone. I'm pretty much isolated on a peninsula. If I don't move when the getting
testing.
So
yeah, here.
Okay, just checking. Everything went quiet. Okay, sorry, Geek.
Yeah, I think in Geek's situation, that's probably the best thing to do because, like you said, his cutoff, his means of escape or his means of moving and mobility, he's only got one direction he can go. So, yeah, I would probably, in his situation, I would probably move out and do more recon. But like I said, where I'm at, I've got, 75 to 100 miles, all four directions, north, south, east, and west that I can go. So, my closest city is, an hour by car. So, yeah, I think I'd probably hunker down. I think my closest neighbor is about a half a mile away.
Very cool.
Yeah, that has its benefits and its downsides, too, though. If he needs some kind of medical emergency treatment other than, a bandage or something like that, unless he has some full-fledged emergency room, I'm a surgeon, slept at a Holiday Inn last night, how big of an issue is that going to be for you, DS?
See, you're going to laugh at this, but my closest neighbor that's a half mile away, guess what he does for a living?
Shut up.
We've had several. Yep, we've had several conversations. He's an emergency room doctor.
Oh.
So we've had several conversations. In fact, when I need any prescriptions, I take a certain prescription that I need, and I never go. I just meet him at the mailbox, and we stop and talk. And hey, I need a prescription, and he refills it for me. And we've had several conversations. He's got a really nice range up in his house, and we're of like mind. So yeah, we're planning on doing some things together. He doesn't really understand the gardening and the
I can take care of that. I seriously need adopted here, and I will take care of all of that stuff for you. Trust me.
Shotgun.
Yeah, I've got him there, and then on the other side, the other half mile, you're gonna laugh at this too. The other half mile is a tactical trainer, and he trains FBI and law enforcement all over the U.S. And he's a really good friend of mine. He's about 6'4". He's black, and he weighs about 270 pounds, and he's a freaking powerhouse. Owns a CrossFit gym. Anyway, he's my neighbor on the other half mile on the other side. So we've all talked. So. So I kind of got it made.
So let me tell you about my neighbors.
I heard about your neighbor.
Yeah, Mr. Diggle over here, Anyway, that's a whole other story. But nice setup, DS.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed where we're at, and we've got, lots of room to roam. We got about 300 head of deer and elk that come into the fields in the evenings. In fact, this morning when I was on with you, I went outside to get a little air to wake up, and I could hear the elk talking out in the field. So, yeah, we got a pretty good spot where we live.
So what, Yellowstone's not your only concern?
No.
No?
No.
You're not feeling the panic over Yellowstone blowing up?
No, I still think it's far enough away to where, it wouldn't really affect me too much. Now, we do live in the Pacific Ring of Fire, and, where I live is all, old volcanic, so that could be a possible scenario. If everything, if there's a massive volcanic upheaval, and, that would obviously change my situation, but that's about all I've got to contend with. I've got, like I said, an urban area, and the closest town's about an hour by car, and it's 20 or 30,000 people, and the closest city is Portland, and it's about 3 hours by car, and there's an entire Cascade Mountain range between me and them, so I think it would take them a while to make it over the mountains. And most of those people, I think, would probably head to the coast anyway. There's more resources on the coast, there's more food, there's more water.
Well, from what I understand,
I think more people would probably head to the coast.
From what I
see stuff in the news, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Stuff that I wrote 18 months ago, I actually see it playing out in the news, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Well, we'll see if it ends the same way as your book does, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Deke, are you still with us, or did we lose you?
No, I'm still here. I'm just enjoying this conversation. Man, I'm going to come live with you, buddy.
Come on over, buddy. You guys can come visit anytime. And if you happen to be here when everything goes down, well, you're welcome to stay.
All right, so here's a question for you. And this is from the second deck of Conflicted that came out. The U.S. dollar has been printed out of value, and the global economy collapsed. Now the governments of the world have mandated everyone receive a radio frequency identification, or RFID chip, as part of a new digital currency. Everyone who does not receive the implant will be cut off from buying or selling. Would you receive the chip, or what steps would you take to survive in this new world era? What do you think? Would you take the chip?
No.
Why not? You can't buy anything. You can't sell anything.
Well, I can survive with what I've got. I mean, it's not a, super fruitful, wonderful existence. It's a lot of work, but I can survive with what I've got and what I can grow. And there's, there's more to prepping than just buying or prepping stuff, stocking stuff to survive on. There's, barter type items that a person should have in their preps. And, one of my favorites is little tiny 1 pound cans of coffee, as many as you can get your hands on. I mean, there's certain things that, they'll create a barter and alternative society when that happens. And I will not take that chip. And, I'm a biblical guy, so there's no way you're going to catch me taking that mark. It's not going to happen.
Okay, well, according to the Bible, the chip is in your forehead or your hand. What if this is in your, bicep area?
Yeah, still not going to do it.
Still not going to do it? Geek, what do you think?
Nope, not going to do it.
No mark of the beast. I'm not playing that. And will not do it. I will beg, borrow, and steal. I'll break other commandments to avoid that one.
Absolutely. I like the way you think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty self-sufficient. Now, my wife may argue that because I am an IT guy, but my mama didn't raise no, chip buy and selling guy. I will not take the chip. My children will not take the chip. We won't do it.
Well, I don't think just because you're an IT guy that you're not going to fit into the world after collapse. I think you're going to be very instrumental in getting this country back up and going, especially communications part of it.
No, definitely. And I mean, I've done things like that, in other, prepared drills and stuff for bringing communications back up. So I played a pretty instrumental part in my career. So, but I am outdoorsy. So, after this, I'm going to go out and sleep in my hammock in the yard and then test out some new concepts. So I think we'll be okay.
Did you see that big hammock? Maybe I got it from off your page anyway. That was like way up there as opposed to, the standard one that's just, a few feet off the ground. This one was like up in the treetop.
Yeah, you might have got that from me. I post a lot of hammock stuff. I'm a big fan of the hammock camping. Would
you think a hammock, if you're going to bug out, is a better idea than a tent?
See, I debate that. My kids want to sleep next to me in a tent, but a hammock, I mean, you
can do a double whammy on a hammock.
Yeah, see, we could have two of them. My wife's a small lady, and my daughters are kind of petite like her, so we could definitely, get by. So, the two middle girls with her, and then the baby with me, and we'd be solid. And those hammocks blend right in. I mean, you don't see them until you're on top of them if you use the right equipment.
Yeah, lightweight.
Yep.
The only problem is your gear. You're going to have to watch what you do with your gear. It's not like you can stow it in the tent with you, but
right, you just hang it on the straps.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty sweet setups when it comes to hammocks. And even in the wintertime, these things are quite toasty.
Yep, get the underquilts. I just got a new one, and it is fantastic. I can't wait for winter.
Yeah, we always say at least have a hammock or a tarp with you, minimally, and know how to use it.
Yep, they're for military poncho, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. But hammocks are sweet, so definitely something I think more people are getting used to thinking of when they think of going out camping. But I still can't get past the fact of being like some bear's burrito or something, because you get in there, laugh all you want to, but, you get that thing zipped up and all of that with the cover over the top, and you're in your little snug Sub-Zero sleeping bag, strung between two trees. I still have qualms about that one.
You just hang a no bears sign.
Exactly. We're back to Ho-Hos or Twinkies again.
No bears allowed. Just put the sign up. They'll leave you alone.
Yes, sir. you go first. And let me know how it works for you.
Oh no, I'm scared of bears.
Yes. What's your favorite way to camp? And don't tell me a big luxurious cabin with arms.
Well, I like my, as far as what I'd like to do now would be totally different than what I would do then. I mean, in my go bag, I've got, my bug out bag, I've got a couple of camo tarps that blend in with my terrain, and one tarp on the bottom and one tarp as a shelter, and then some branches underneath the tarp for padding. So that's different from the way I like to camp now. Now I like to camp in a big wall pit. I've got a wood stove, and it's 16 by 24, and it's just this giant house out in the woods. And I like to camp in that. Now, usually cots in there, and I got a pantry that I put together and put all our camping food on and stuff. But that's not going to be a luxury item. I mean, that'd be a luxury item if we had to bug out. So
home.
Yeah, I'm not going to pack that around. But no, in my go bag, I've got the camo tarp and 2 camo tarps, and I've got the waterproof, gloves, and I've got waterproof socks that actually go on over my, socks and so on and so forth. So there's certain things that I'd have to do, camping more primitively if I was talking about.
Yeah. I want a teepee. I want authentic teepee. I would stick out like a sore thumb around here. I guarantee you that. And I've got the pattern to make one myself out of duck cloth. But one day, I'm going to have a teepee. I swear to that, with a big old fire pit in the middle, and we're going to sit around and smoke pipes and stuff.
Yeah, actually, that's really what I like to do. I like to go out and, sometimes I like to get all my friends together and we go out and we have a big drum circle and then we lay down next to a tree and we rest comfortably in the bosom of our mother, the earth, and we sing to the spirits. And
well, I'm going to say through the apocalypse.
Just kidding.
I'm going to have the fun group, so we're going to... Exactly. Might as well not go down, we're going to go down happy, if anything.
Oh, my gosh.
But...
All right, conflict me.
All right. Geek, do you have a question?
I do. I have a couple here. Let me go. You were at a business convention 1,200 miles away from your family when an EMP goes off and stops the entire civilization in its tracks. None of the means of communications or transportation work, the banking system, and all the comforts of modern civilization broken, setting the entire country back hundreds of years. Infrastructure won't be fixed anytime soon, and you aren't ready for this. You have $300 in your pocket in a few hours before all shelves are empty. Would you stay local or head for home? Whatever your decision is, what would you buy with the money and why?
All right. DS, what do you think? You got $300 in your pocket. 15. What are you? 1,200 miles?
1,200 miles.
Quite a ways away from home.
That kind of sucks.
Well, if I'm 1,200 miles from, it's funny. My wife and I just talked about this a couple of days ago. We've got a couple of trips coming up. We've got one to Oklahoma City. We've got one to Las Vegas in January for the SHOT Show. And we've decided we're not going to fly commercially. We're just not going to do it. We're going to drive. So I'm a little different. I'll have my go bag with me because I don't go anywhere unless I'm armed with my go bag. So I'll have things that I need anyway.
I know somebody with a plane out that way that might be able to help you out.
Yeah, I know somebody too with a plane. No, I'll probably have my go bag. Now, if I didn't, okay, let's for all intents and purposes here, let's think about this. Okay, I don't have my go bag. I did fly into this city for this convention. I'm going to go. I'm just going to go as quickly and as fast as I can, and I'm going to get out into more of a rural setting as quickly as I can. I'm going to try and buy as much water as I can to begin with, and I'm going to make sure that I, buy a pocket knife or something to, semi-defend myself with, but I'm going to get as close to rural as I can, as quickly as I can. It's like in my book, I talked about it when the grid goes down. The people in the rural settings tend to be more, folksy. They tend to be more understanding. They tend to be more, giving. I mean, if you go to someone in a rural setting and you really truly need help and they can help you, 9 times out of 10 they're going to do it if you ask. If you go to steal and you go to sneak in and you take, you're going to get shot. I mean, that's just the way rural America is. So I would want to get as rural as I could, as fast as I could. I'd want to get some water. I'd want to buy a pack of some sort to carry my water in. I'd want to have, a knife and as much first aid as I could buy with $300, and I'd just take off. I'd get out of the city, and I'd move rural as quickly as I could get there. And then who knows, hopefully, find my way back home 1,200 miles in 6 months. Who knows? Yeah,
that's a long-ass way. But I would question buying water, because a gallon weighs, 8 pounds?
It weighs a lot.
It do.
Are you going to be able to carry enough water in order to get your fishy home?
No, not to get home, but to get out of the city, yes. I mean, to get out of the city. And I would try and get a straw. If you could find one, I'd try and get a filter straw, if you could even find one. Where are you at in the city? Are you in New York City? I don't think there's a lot of sportsman's warehouses, on every corner of New York City. There's certain things you're not going to be able to find. Yeah, there's a few, but I know when my in-laws purchase anything, they usually get it shipped into them. Or they drive out of the island
and purchase it and just drive it in.
Yeah, it would be pretty tough, but I would definitely want to get out of there as quickly as I could.
Do you think a human is able to walk 1,200 miles nowadays?
Oh, absolutely. You could do it. I mean, it'd be a crisis. But, I mean, think about this. We have no sense of direction. You know, it's been completely bred out of us. It's true. I mean, we have to have our GPS to drive to the freaking grocery store. We have no sense of direction. We've lost it as a species. I mean, look back, 120 years ago, in the 1800s, mountain men would go out and they would live in the wilderness for months and months at a time. And every year, once a year, some of them would walk 600 miles and they would end up in one meadow, the same meadow every year with no trails or anything, and they'd walk right to it. I mean, they had a sense of direction. We don't have that anymore as a species. I tried to get that. My dad actually would teach me from when I was little. Every time we'd get out of the truck, he'd say, okay, where's the truck? And we'd walk for another half hour, where's the truck? And I got to where I knew exactly where I was. He kind of built it back into me. But that's something that, I think I could do it. I really think I could find my way.
I scare the hell out of my husband all the time because I have this very unusual sense of where I'm at and the ability to find things because, like you said, I used to go coon hunting with my father all the time growing up, and he would leave my ass in the woods in the middle of the night and say, find your way home. Seriously. And
that's a good dad right there.
I mean, well, yeah, he taught me how to ride off a bike by shoving me off the side of a hill, too, but that's a whole other story. But, I mean, we would go out, and hunt the grounds on our farm, and, we'd be right up on the neighbor's house. And I remember one time thinking, and he's like, be quiet because, the neighbors are right there. I'm like, where? And
welcome to Verizon Wireless. The number you dialed has been changed, disconnected, or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again. Announcement to switch 3 to 8-3.
All right. Don't know what that was.
That was awkward.
Let's, okay, well, Geek, it's your turn. So, $300, 1,200 miles.
After that?
I guess the Verizon lady didn't want to talk to us.
Wow, who's on Verizon? That's weird. Are we dialed in or something?
I did dial, Diaz's phone through Skype.
Oh, okay, maybe that's it. I was like, oh, NSA really screwed up this time. We got it. I was ready.
So they'll do anything, won't they? They are.
Yeah. And I travel for a living, so I've got a little bit of advantage here because I've already got an airport get home kit. But to offset that, I would $300. I would hit Walmart or whatever big box store, sporting goods, anything surplus store. I would grab a sleeping bag, a tarp, and some cordage. A slingshot or a bow. I mean, I probably have a better luck getting a slingshot, just the way things are. A knife, some kind of water filter. That may be hit or miss, but I would grab a steel cup or camp pot. And like you said, a compass, because my sense of direction is god-awful. I got lost in the forest last week. And sometimes I do it kind of intentionally, but I got turned around and I wasn't paying attention and I got lost. And I've done this. I mean, I grew up in the woods, so I wasn't scared, but I was like, holy shit, I'm lost. So I was so a compass, and then what I would do is I would try to follow highways on the bike if I could.
I'm back.
Getting shot up. Hi, welcome back. And I would steal all the maps from the rest areas on the way home so I could navigate, because I have no sense of direction. I proved that last week in the forest.
So, neither one of you have mentioned, well, I'm going to say this out there. So, I would say it's going to depend on those 1,200 miles and which way you have to go. If you're going to go over the Rocky Mountains, you're pretty much screwed. I mean, I know it's been done in the past, a long time ago, but we got to drive over them to Utah last summer, and I cannot fathom walking across them. To get
it depends on what time of year it is, too.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be my thing. Are you talking about the northern part? Are you talking about coming across the southern United States? But shoes, a good pair pair of shoes, hiking boots, that you're going to be able to walk in. You're probably going to go through several pair on 1,200 miles on foot.
So Crocs it is.
Oh, I hate Crocs.
I love me some Crocs, man.
Oh, my God. It's like my biggest pet peeve.
Oh, seriously?
You know, that's not mine. My biggest, I think, is the Birkenstocks and socks. That bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Not
I would
so
do
much.
sandals and socks.
I would not do a guy that wore Crocs. I can tell you that right now. It is not going to happen.
That's why I wear them, to keep the ladies from trying to do me at the airport.
Oh, that's funny.
I
You're welcome at the prison, right?
What?
You're welcome at the prison, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, because if I don't wear Crocs, man, I'm having all kinds of problems at the airport. You know, women swooping up on me. Hey, what's up?
I know a lot of people wear them. I can't go there. But you have to understand, I hardly ever wear shoes. If I'm home, I am barefoot all day long. It doesn't matter where I go. I'll walk outside back to the animals and all that kind of stuff. And but that's where you'll find me. That's how I feel comfortable. When I teach, out in class or whatever, I usually take my shoes off. But that's how I grew. I've always been like that. But the whole Croc thing, yeah, sorry. I
think you can get through. I think you could get by on a couple of pairs of boots in 1,200 miles. I mean, just thinking about, every year when I go out hunting, we have archery season, which is 28 days long, and then we have all of the rifle seasons that coincide after that my family has tags for. And it's not uncommon to put 12 or 14 miles a day on my boots when I'm out there hunting, and I've had, the same pair of boots for 4 hunting seasons. So you've got to figure 40 to 50 days a year, 14 miles a day, that's 500 and some miles, in a year, and the boots are still, I think you could get by on a couple of pairs of boots walking that distance. It's a good boot.
Yeah, it's going to have to be really good ones. But, would you, here you go, would you take a pair of boots off of a dead guy and wear them?
Oh, absolutely. Wouldn't even hesitate.
In a heartbeat. A dead guy?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd say it probably would have to depend on how he died. If he got shot, that's one thing. But if he got some kind of virus, Ebola type, whatever, we're talking a whole other scenario there.
Ebola beat.
Yeah, that would kind of change, but possibly a guy could, get a nice big pot of water and boil the boots for an hour or two, and I might still put them on.
I don't know. Wouldn't that take, waterproofing?
Yeah, but I mean, just submerge them. Yeah, I don't know. It would depend. Like you said, it would depend on how he died.
Yeah. What about a fire steel? Magnesium rod. Fire steel, magnesium rod.
Absolutely. I have one in every one of my go bags. Yep.
Airport kid has one. Yep.
You take a fire steel through the airport?
Yeah, all the time. The the Exo TX or whatever? Yeah, they don't even bat an eye on it.
Wow.
I also take a tactical pen in my binder, and they don't even look at that.
I love my tactical pen.
Yep, just a heavy pen.
Yeah, I've scratched my arm up so many times because I keep it in my pocket when I'm at work, and I jab myself quite a few times with it. But hey, it works.
Coming real handy.
Yeah. Anything else that you can think of? You got $300. I mean, are you going to purchase a firearm?
Oh man. Well, like
probably not, because it would cost a lot more than that.
Unless you buy a High Point.
Yeah,
exactly.
Slingshot and knife.
Sorry.
Yeah, I bought a High Point, and I got 3 rounds out of it before the slide threw off and fell off, and everything fell apart on it.
Uh-huh.
Some people, they love them or hate them.
You got to keep them clean.
Yeah.
Well, that's no good to me.
Anything else you can think of that you would want? I think, but the problem is a lot of people see these things as almost toys. They collect them, but they never use them.
No, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard to find anything, and that $300 isn't going to go very far. In a downgrade situation like that, I mean, it would be instantaneous panic. I mean, we've talked about that. People would be looting and rioting probably within an hour anyway. So your dollar isn't going to be worth a whole lot. I mean, it's just not. I mean, price gouging would ensue in moments. I don't think $300 would get you a whole lot anyway.
Well, I'm like Geek because I travel a lot, and I hardly ever, if I have to, fly anymore. But I always have a bag in my truck with me that has most of the stuff we talked about. Plus a whole lot more.
That's the way I don't travel without it anymore.
No.
Even to California, I don't care if they don't want you to bring stuff into the state. They can kiss my butt. I'm bringing it anyway. I'm not traveling without it if I'm driving.
Oh, do you hear those pencils going? They're taking notes right now. I can.
Well, they can take stuff. That's all they want. Me and Pelosi can sit down and have a nice chat about it one day.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Geek, give me the next question you had.
Next question is, after hunting for game in the wilderness, two of your friends were bitten by the same kind of poisonous snake. You were the only one unharmed, that's a bonus, and with one vial of antivenom antidote. Both your friends have lost consciousness, and they have their kids and wives waiting for their return, but you can only save one of them. A full dose of the antidote is needed in order to save a life. Anything less would be a waste. What criteria would you use to save one of them, and why?
Okay, you phased out a little bit, but you and two other people were in the woods. They both got bit?
Yep.
You didn't. You only
Correct,
have
by
one.
a poisonous snake, and you only have enough antidote to save one.
Okay. So, DS, who are you going to save?
The antivenom.
Okay, it's me, you, and Geek.
Well, me, you, and Geek. Well, how old are your children, Geek?
8, 6, and 4.
And Miss Author?
I have 5. The oldest is 24. The youngest is 13. They're every 3 years apart.
I'd say Geek.
Woo, go me.
I mean, that's the criteria for me is who's needed to provide for their family, whose family isn't able to provide for themselves, who would depend on their person to come back more. And the 13-year-old, you know, is old enough to where they, even if they didn't know, they could learn it. They're old enough to have that cognitive reasoning skill to actually learn and work out their own, you know, work out their own salvation, so to speak. So I would save the one who had a family that was more dependent on them.
See how you are?
I mean,
all right.
Simple.
That's fine.
Simple.
That's fine. We'll leave it there. Geek, who are you going to save?
Man, that was such a good answer. I was going to say, I wish I could say I was going to say what he was going to say. I was going to say whoever has the best skill set that is needed to kind of keep things rolling. I mean, if one of them is a fat, lazy slob who tells great jokes, is one thing. But if the other guy can, like, skin a deer in 32 seconds and create anything from scrap, you know, I like a good joke, but I really need a handy guy.
Now, wait a minute. What if you're a fat slob who can skin a deer in 30 seconds, tell a great joke, and make anything something?
Well, then,
I mean, come on.
You survive, man. You are the winner at that point.
Oh, so I can have both of you are, and just so you know, I'm keeping this stuff for myself.
Oh,
because I winter well. I'm somebody who winters well.
I do too. I don't need much food because I've stored it up all these years.
Yeah, I'm like a good beef. I winter really good.
Maybe call you pedal monkeys or something.
That's funny.
But yeah, you're both done because I'm keeping the stuff for myself.
Oh man!
You guys,
and 4. I have children.
well, you know, I've seen dead snakes bite people before, and they get hurt. So I figured that way, you know, I'm going to make sure I survive because I'm not going to listen to either one of you anymore.
Oh, I love it. So I got a question for you guys. Even though it's not in the game, I don't have any cards because, you know, I'm not special enough to get a game sent to him, you know.
We've lost JD somewhere out there in the world. He's making, what is that, shaved Hawaiian ice somewhere in California, and we haven't heard from him for a couple weeks now. So...
Well, I've got a question. Wait a minute. I forgot what I was going to ask now. See, you totally threw me. Totally threw me, and it was a good question.
And that was too damn easy, let me just say.
Oh, I got it. Do either one of you have a...
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. The number you dialed has been changed, disconnected, or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try...
I have 4 of whatever he thinks he has, by the way. But, yeah, he just hung up on us, I think.
I've got...
Geek, do we still have you two? Are we losing everyone? Hello, hello.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe they don't like me at the phone company.
Geek, do we have you too? And we're not connected to the radio station. I'm going to try it one more time, okay?
NSA strikes again.
Bastards.
They don't love us, man.
Come on. I can't get into... It's still showing...
Well, it says Palmdale on my phone. So that's...
Are we in?
Can anybody hear us?
Hello, hello. Chat room, answer us. Do we have it? Do you have us?
Chat room, hello?
I'm thinking somebody's sending me a message and I don't know where the hell it's at.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear Geek too, but check chat room. Oh, yep, we're back. I think they can hear us.
Okay.
All right, so
before we lose it again, that was my question. Do you guys have super glue in your go bag?
Yeah, actually I do.
Yep, emergency stitch glue. Yep, oh yeah.
Nice, that's what I've got, a whole bunch of it.
Got myself all the damn time.
You got some of that blood stop powder, too, that works really good.
Yeah, and the tourniquets. I have a tourniquet too.
I have the sucking chest wound bandage, but I haven't had a chance to test it yet.
We might have to do that sometime.
Let's hope you don't have a chance to test it.
No, we should. You know, we're going to need to.
Come here, I want to give you a sucking chest wound.
Yeah. If my neighbor starts working on his car in the middle of the night, I might get it.
I have a neighbor that we can use. Trust me.
We can test them. Test it on them.
Yes, most definitely. Actually, I have one of those, it's called Bob, that you beat on. You know, the big guy with the water in the face. Yeah, I have one of those. Scares the shit out of me all the time. My daughter went to the bathroom one time and we put it outside the door.
Oh, no.
She walks out and Bob's standing there. It's like, ah! So I had to put clothes on him because he's naked. So he's doing much better now. So we have him in the window.
Did you put that sign in front of your house that I sent you today?
Actually, from what I understand, he does have a gun, so I can't use that.
Oh, what a bummer. That'd be a great sign to put in front of your house.
Well, we have Bob looking out the window towards his house, so I'm sure he's freaking out right now.
That's funny.
Put a Darth Vader mask on him. Sorry, that was way too nerdy. I apologize.
It's okay.
Let's back that up.
We're going through Walking Dead withdrawal. That's the problem.
You know, I'm with it too. I never watched it until last year, and then I watched the whole marathon. My wife and I stayed up for like 22 hours straight watching Walking Dead. Like, oh my gosh, we got to watch this show, and then we caught up, and then we watched last season, and now I'm like, okay, it's time to.
Now you're ready. So, who's your favorite character on the show?
You know, I like Michonne. I love her. I mean,
yeah.
Who else would have thought to, you know, cut off the jaw and cut off the arms and have them carry their stuff around? I mean, that was genius. I like her. She's probably my favorite.
The full package, definitely.
Geek, you're in agreement?
Dude, she's got a sword. She's a hot brown chick. I mean, come on. Let's
totally
do
true.
this. Fights zombies, can shoot guns. I'm really pissed last season. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to go in this camp without any weapons. Dummies.
Yeah, the premiere isn't until October, so we still have some time.
Cannibals.
Yeah, let's leave all our weapons out here. Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
Yeah, why not leave someone else with the weapons? You know, hey, if we're not back in 2 hours, come kill these people, please.
Well, I have a feeling this season's going to be interesting, and with the new writers and stuff, they have a way of twisting it at the last minute to make you sit up and take notice. I just wish that, you know, occasionally they would bathe more often.
They do really well mowing the yards. So
I know.
They
have goats. There's zombie goats somewhere.
That's a great looking yard.
Yeah. And spaghetti. We'll have spaghetti and chocolate pudding.
Oh. Well, the chocolate pudding I totally can see.
No, that stuff is gross.
Oh, no, I got some downstairs in the pantry. I'm
You
ready
have
for it.
number 10 cans of chocolate pudding.
No, I don't have number 10. I have a bunch of little single-serve plastic cups. But if the grid goes down at $300, if I'm on the road, I'm buying number 10 cans of pudding and forget everything else I said.
Is that the one thing that you're going to miss the most?
Yep, I'll make hobo stoves out of the cans and like decorations and jewelry. Yeah, I'll be able to do anything.
Decorations and jewelry. All right, you'll be pimping it out. Yes.
Right, like, ooh.
What's your vice? What's the thing you're going to miss the most?
Oh, goodness.
That sounds like
I don't know.
That sounds like you're
Electricity.
freaking sad anyways. I don't even think he has to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't know, because most of what we eat, honestly, I don't eat a whole lot of junk. Most of the stuff we eat, we don't buy anyway already. So I don't know. There's a few, maybe. Well, I don't know. My wife makes jam, and I love jam on toast. But she makes all our own jam. We have a fruit orchard in our place, so we have plums and cherries and apples and peaches and pears. I don't know. There's really not much. I don't know, maybe chocolate. I do like chocolate once in a while. I would probably miss chocolate.
Get yourself some
That's kind of my
coconuts.
advice. Yeah, I don't know. That's too much work. I'd be, yeah, that's too
It's
much. That's a waste of time. I
chocolate.
think
Is
I
there
could
too
do
much
that.
work? Just roast some coconuts up and
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
buy it.
Chocolate would probably be, that'd be the one, though, chocolate. I would miss that.
at certain times of the month, it's mandatory that there's chocolate in my house. I can tell you that.
Huh, that's amazing. That's, it's like every woman. Certain times of the month,
Yes.
there's chocolate in that house.
I could
Also,
end
like
up.
payday.
Uh-huh.
Every time he gets paid, you can have chocolate.
I would, we would be able to clear parts of the apocalypse out if it wasn't for chocolate sometimes, I think. All right, it is 10 minutes till. DS wants to tell everybody about your book and where they can track it down and find it and all that stuff.
It is Collective Retribution, Retribution, Collective Retribution. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can find it on Books A Million. You can find it at the iTunes store. You can get it electronically, paperback, hardcover. You can follow me on Twitter at DS Edwards Author. You can find it on Facebook, or you can go to collectiveretribution.com. And yeah, it's one of those reads that you'll read it, it'll make you really, really angry, but it gives you hope in the end. But you can see the parallels, and you can see where we're headed. So it's one of those that this could actually happen. It's not your typical prepper fiction. It's not your typical book for that genre. It's a little bit different. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Any special secrets that you can let out about the book that might entice people to read it? Besides the fact,
Well, it'll bring emotion into you. I mean, you'll be emotional. You'll get connected to the characters. You know, it's one of those books that I didn't research a whole lot. I mean, I didn't, do character outlines and sketches and really take the time to go through it. It was actually a movie that was playing out in my mind, and it really reads like a movie. It's like you're watching a movie. It was playing out in my mind, and I just wrote what I was seeing, and 18 months later, that was the result. So it's been out since March, and like I said, it's coming true before my eyes.
yeah, I got a little choked up at the end. I will admit that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I write for the everyman. I don't want to show everybody how smart I am by pulling out the thesaurus and coming up with fancy words. I want people to connect with it on a more, with their more baser instincts on a more visceral level.
Why?
So I write for everybody.
But you probably have a neighbor that's a librarian or something.
Actually, I have a neighbor who was a Harvard professor for several years. So.
See? See? Geek?
Wonderworld, damn. Fairies that feed our animals for us.
I love it.
Geek, where are you from?
Wait. Oh, sorry.
Neverland.
I don't have any cool neighbors that can fly and shit.
I do have a can't spot a dick in my cupboard downstairs, so I'm doing good.
I have a dick in my cupboard too. My wife keeps it there. No, you can find me at geekprepper.org. I posted all the info in the chat room. You know, we don't put out as much content as everybody else because we don't just regurgitate. I mean, I see the same 5,000 posts from 5,000 different bloggers. I told you all about Ebola like 3 months ago, so if you didn't do anything about it, it's on you. I told you.
So, real quick on the Ebola thing, what do you think about all of these scares that are going on? Everybody's freaking out. And I said that this morning. I said, just watch it, because everybody's going to start freaking out because everybody thinks they've got Ebola, because that's the hot topic now.
I've got it right now.
All over. Don't spit. Okay. Last question. When forming a survival group, what structure of organization is best? Having one leader with people under that person at various levels, or having the entire group share leadership and responsibilities, and why? DS?
Everybody needs to have their job that they are the best at. Everyone has a skill set. I don't care if you've never done anything in a survival situation in your life, if you've never been an outdoorsy person. Chances are you've got a certain skill set that somebody else doesn't have. So everyone needs to have their job. They need to know what their job is. Just like a good military unit, everybody does what they're supposed to do. That's their job. You know, the auto mechanic doesn't become the college professor, and the college professor doesn't become the doctor. I mean, everyone needs to do their job, so I think it should be, you know, one person kind of coordinating, but they're not the supreme ruler. I mean, everyone needs to have their job and stick to it. And if you go outside of that job and you try and do something else and you screw things up, well, you know, I don't need you around in our group, because everyone needs to do their job.
Alrighty. Geek, what do you think?
I think everyone should have a say, but ultimately there needs to be just that person who is the tiebreaker. They're in charge. I mean, you've got to have... To keep your group from splintering, you have to be able to take input from multiple people. But there has to be someone who's like, no, there's no way we can do that. We're not doing it. There has to be the final word. So it's a republic, but there ultimately is someone who will be the tiebreaker, or will do what no one else wants to do.
You don't think that could be voted on by a group of people?
It could, but ultimately sometimes people, no matter how much they prep and practice, they're not ready to make the tough decisions. Like, in my world, if something really gross and nasty has to be done, whether it's just, you know, telling somebody that something's wrong, or take this animal and have it put to sleep, it falls to that one person, and they do it.
Do you think the leader should also be the executioner?
Yes. I think if you're going to make the call, you should have the cojones to do the job. Now, something like that needs to be weighed very carefully. You can't just be judge, jury, and executioner, but you can be executioner.
Okay, last question. Are you ready?
Oh, I hope so.
Ready.
All right. This is both of you. So, honestly, I want you to tell me the truth here. Christopher Pike, William Shatner, Patrick Stewart, Avery Brooks, Kate Mulgrew, or Scott Bakula?
Patrick Stewart.
I don't know half of them.
What?
I know who Patrick Stewart is and William Shatner is, but I don't know who Kate, whatever you said her name was, Mulberry.
That's Janeway.
Yep, Voyager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to say original Star Trek over Next Generation, but Patrick Stewart over William Shatner.
Done. Sold.
So yeah, Patrick Stewart.
I have a soft spot for Janeway. I will admit that. And I thought James T. Kirk was the bomb growing up until I met Patrick Stewart.
Didn't we all?
No.
So cool.
As long as you don't become a red shirt, I think we can get through what's coming up.
Let's beam all the important people down to this dangerous thing, this dangerous planet. Oh, shit.
Yeah, we need a few of the secondary characters who just show up on a certain episode. Oh, they're going to die. Oh, that person's going to get killed off because I've never seen them before. So we need a few of those people in our group to take the brunt of it for others.
I've got one. I didn't say that.
Oh, you've got one in your group?
He's a great guy, but he's just destined to take himself out.
But
He's got no skills.
Don't you rank the people in your group mentally, and not vocally? I mean, you don't want anybody to know. But mentally, do you sit there and rank the people in your group?
I rank their skills. They're all important to me because they're listening, and I love them.
I mean, we do it at work all the time. You sit there and you decide who's on the bottom of the list and who's not.
Right.
You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you.
People like me until you become a senator.
All right, so 7 of 9?
Oh.
Or Spock?
Oh, 7 of 9, absolutely.
Yes. In a purely professional manner.
Oh, absolutely. Not for spooning or anything in the middle of the night. Absolutely not.
Not for spaceship hammock love, no.
No.
Oh,
no,
the
not
aliens
for that
are
at all.
coming out. They were asking for aliens. Have either one of you been abducted, by the way?
I used to get it quite often, but then I started wearing the tinfoil hat.
I thought you were going to say the rubber shoes.
I've never been abducted, but when I was in 5th grade, I saw a UFO with my grandfather and uncle when we were driving back from Indianapolis. For real.
That's when they left me here.
My dad saw one too, but I never got to see one. So,
yeah, it was such a real thing that people were stopping their cars along 70, I think it was, and were pointing, and I was like, "What is that?" And they're like, "It's an airplane." Like, bullshit.
I mean, you're right there by Wright-Patterson coming through there, so it's possible that it was an aircraft.
Yeah, it was a hugest disc in the sky I ever saw. I've never seen anything else like it.
Okay, but how old were you?
I was 11 or 12.
Okay, so when I was 11 or 12, I remember the hills where I lived were like huge, like mountains. Now they're really small.